Hey, what's up, guys? So, two kinds of movies I love specifically: Asian horror and horror anthologies. Now, if only there was an Asian horror anthology film. Oh, wait, there is. This is Horror Stories. Yeah, it's quite generic, but I'll take it. So, just like all my movie videos, I'll break down the physical copy and then I'll give my 2 cents on the film. This movie is brought to you by Art Exploitations Film. Okay, so first thing we have is the front cover, and I gotta say, personally, I don't like this front cover. I think there could have been a better cover in my opinion. The cover states that there is 6 directors and 4 horror stories.
It also states from the director of Memento Mori, White, Bloody Reunion, Epitaph, and The Naked Kitchen.
Will I ever review any of these films? Well, maybe. I don't know. We should see in the future. I have reviewed Bloody Reunion though. Let's check out the back. One of the scariest Asian horror anthologies of the 21st century. Horror anthologies might be everywhere these days, but the Korean entry Horror Stories raises the bar with 4 terrifying stories and a nail-biting wraparound tale, each one chilling enough to be its own feature. If you thought this was going to be a tame collection of teen-friendly ghost girl stories, think again. Horror Stories goes right for the jugular with non-stop splatter, intense shocks, and riveting suspense. A high school girl is abducted and forced by a psycho to tell him the scariest tales she knows. Don't Answer the Door finds a little brother and sister home alone at night and under siege. Endless Flights has a serial killer escaping police custody in the middle of an otherwise empty flight. Secret Recipe serves up a wildly macabre fairy tale about 2 jealous stepsisters who take plastic surgery to the nightmarish extremes. Ambulance on the Death Zone is a claustrophobic zombie shocker with a paramedic and a mother at a standoff over her possibly infected young daughter. The bonus features included are cast interviews, 12 pages collectible booklet, a reversible cover, and some trailers from Art Exploitations. So here's the inside, and this is the reversible cover. It's an improvement from the original cover. The reversible cover is from the segment The Secret Recipe, I believe. I must say that this is a cool booklet. It's a breakdown of each story, it has interviews. I'll show a better view of the pages since I suck at showing pages on camera. As far as the plot goes, the main story is about a teenage female student named Ji-won, which is kidnapped by a serial killer. They start a conversation and he tells her that he won't be able to go to sleep unless she tells him a good scary story. She agrees because making him go to sleep will give her a chance to escape. Each story told by Ji-won will be a segment in between of the main story. The first one is called Don't Answer the Door and is about 2 latchkey kids who are arriving home from school and are targeted by a serial killer. And let me just say I love this segment, mainly because it captures the terror from a kid's point of view when the killer is on the loose. However, there were some small details I didn't understand about the segment, like a ghost girl in a room, and something else that happens near the end of the segment. Don't worry, I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but that last part got me a little lost. Fun fact, the segment was based off a children's story called The Sun and the Moon. The next segment is pretty crazy, it's called Endless Flight. So it's basically about a captured serial killer that escorted airborne. The plot is simple, but it thickens later on. The premise is quite simple. The killer is on the loose and the staff is in danger in the airplane. It's definitely a good story though. The third segment is called Secret Recipe and is a horror themed story based off Cinderella. There's more to the plot, but I will just say the premise is quite simple. 2 daughters compete for the love of this wealthy young looking doctor. There's also extreme themes of plastic surgery, which is involved as well. So you're probably gonna be wondering, where's the horror element at? Trust me, it's there. But I will be in spoiler territory if I go forward. It's a pretty okay segment, but I don't think it's good as the other first two. The last segment is called Ambulance on the Death Zone. The story is kind of predictable if you're into the zombie genre, but long story short, there's a zombie outbreak, and our main focus is inside a ambulance. There's huge tension inside the ambulance. A girl is unconscious with an unknown scar along with her mom, a nurse, and a doctor. They're trying to escape a horde of zombies. The story gets critical as the nurse chooses to either follow orders or save the life of the child. And I'll just leave it like that. Overall, this is a great way to start if you've never seen an Asian horror film. I honestly love this film. I love how the film doesn't rely on cliches. I love the serial killer themes on the first segments of the movie. As far as my favorite segment, I think it'll be the first one. I don't know, there's something I love about it. Yet there's stuff I mentioned earlier that I don't understand as well. As far as the main concept of the segment, I love it. Two kids trying to survive from a serial killer. So if it isn't obvious, this is a movie I really love and highly recommend. There is a sequel, but I haven't watched it yet. There isn't a physical release for the States, so that's mainly why I haven't watched it. There are some sites that have it, but I couldn't watch it mainly because the subs are not syncing right with the audio. Anyways, that's all I have for the video. Join me next time as I'm continuing doing some horror reviews for the month of October. If you guys like what you see, leave a like. If you've seen this movie, leave a comment on what you think of the movie. And make sure to subscribe for more content. I am out. I should also state that I have some horror suggestions as well, and some reviews as well. The annotations to the reviews will be on the screen, along with the description as well. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.